The ego is described as having three bodies: the gross, the subtle, and the causal, but that is only for the purposes of analytical exposition. If the method of inquiry were to depend on the ego's form, you may take it that any inquiry would become altogether impossible, because the forms the ego may assume are legion. Therefore, for purposes of Janana Vichara, you have to proceed on the basis that the ego has but one form, namely that of AHAM VRITHI. The word Aham is itself very suggestive. The two letters of the word, namely A and Ha, are the first and the last letters of the Sanskrit alphabet. The suggestion intended to be conveyed by the word is that it comprises all, because Aham signifies existence itself. Although the concept of I-ness or I-am-ness is usage known as AHAM VRITHI, it is not really a vrithi, like the other vrithis of the mind. Because unlike the other vrithis, which have no essential interrelation, the Aham vrithi is equally and essentially related to each and every vrithi of the mind. Without the Aham vrithi there can be no other vrithi, but the Aham vrithi can subsist by itself without depending on any other vrithi of the mind. The Aham vrithi is therefore fundamentally different from other vrithis. So, then, the search for the source of the Aham vrithi is the search not merely for the basis of one of the forms of the ego but for the very source itself from which arises the I am-ness. In other words, the quest for and the realization of the source of the ego in the form of Aham vrithi necessarily implies the transcendence of the ego in every one of its possible forms.